I was just chilling here, thinking about Mario Kart World DLC. And so that's what I'm going to be yapping about today. You know, we're going to be doing another little bit of a discussion type of video today. And so with these discussions, I kind of decided, you know, I kind of want to just like keep the eliminate as much, I guess, background noise as I can. And so I'm actually going to just take away all the, I don't know, background sound effects from the actual game and just put on some low-key music and kind of just yap about the Mario Kart DLC. You can put this in the background or whatever you want to do. But again, one of my unique quirks, wow, I'm doing great. One of my unique quirks about this channel is I do these discussions live while playing Mario Kart World. So yeah, again, you know, sometimes I feel like it's very counterintuitive to do this, but you know what? It just makes me special, right? So yeah, I am playing this live, but whatever. We're gonna gain VR while yapping about the potential of Mario Kart World DLC. So let's get into it. Okay, basically, you know, Mario Kart World is a very unique entry in the Mario Kart series. And I think, you know, there's been a lot of, I don't know, just discussion revolving around what they're gonna do for DLC, because obviously it's structured a lot differently. It's an open world. All the tracks are interconnected, and so it's really just like it creates a unique problem. Maybe not even a problem, but just a unique way of, I don't know, just going about DLC. And so, you know, it's weird. I don't really know what to expect. And I really feel like I wrote down a couple of notes here with discussing this. I just feel like really the only thing, and I know everyone and their mom has brought this up, but I really feel like the only logical thing that I am going to fall off the edge. I feel like the only logical thing that Mario Kart World could do is really just make more islands. You know, they could expand the main island, but I feel like that would kind of just, I don't know. When it comes to like free roam, I mean, there comes a point where I feel like the world would get too big. Oh, -76. Sorry, that is terrible. But I feel like the world, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I really feel like adding more islands and creating more islands is probably going to be the most seamless way to include more tracks in this game. And you know, today I really just wanted to actually kind of just discuss more about tracks rather than anything else, because I think it's a given that if they are going to add more content in this game, they're going to add more characters. They're probably going to add more karts. Like, I would be pretty shocked if they didn't. But what I'm more invested in is really the tracks themselves. Because this game launched with honestly, a surprisingly small list of tracks. Not like a terribly small, but compared to what we had in Mario Kart 8, it is a little bit smaller. And so I feel like I'm already at that point where I'm kind of yearning for some new tracks. And so, yeah, but, you know, with I keep saying, you know, but with these tracks, I don't want them to be, I don't know. I feel like there is Mario Kart World has already has had some unique track picks. Let's just put it that way. And I really feel like there is some amazing tracks in this game that utilize Mario Kart World's engine in fantastic ways. And basically what I'm saying is I don't just want additional tracks, but I want them to fit the Mario Kart World engine. I want them to include just cool, I don't know, maybe cool bits with railing and wall riding. I mean, that's literally some of my favorite parts about this game is the new wall riding and parkour mechanics. Like it's super satisfying. It's super fun. The skill expression and just the diversity of routes is really cool. Like I guess a prime example that I'm thinking of is like Acorn Heights. In my eyes, like, you know, it's when you go off that first glider and you kind of just like your eyes just kind of open to this grand, like just sick, just tricking section with rail grinding and there's a wall riding cut that you can do at the end. Like that's what I want the DLC tracks to be. Obviously, there's definitely a balance between you know, appealing to kind of the more casual audience, making it more accessible and not going too overboard with those mechanics. But I'm like, man, that's what makes, in my opinion, that's really what makes Mario Kart World special, is these really cool parkour mechanics. So, I mean, I have a list here of tracks that I not only want, but also that, you know, I could see fitting this criteria and really thriving from it. And so I want to go over that list. I do want to make, I just want to preface and say I really didn't think about how many times a track has been, I literally just kind of wrote out this list and just thought of different, just the first tracks that kind of came to mind or whatever. And so I didn't really think about like if they would, how many times they've already been remade or basically, yeah, just kind of stuff like that. So I have a small list here that I'll kind of go through as we go, but yeah, I guess we'll get started here. All right, gamers, let's get on with this list. Actually, before we dive too far into this, I just want to let you know, again, this list was literally just kind of thrown together. Not too much thought into it. I mean, there was a couple of tracks that I really do want just to come back. I also don't have any Super Circuit tracks on this list. Hi, editor's note here. I meant to say Super Mario Kart, not Super Circuit. I would never slander my boy Super Circuit. I love that game. But yeah, Super Mario Kart. I don't have any tracks for Super Mario Kart. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. I don't know. There's just not a lot that's really catching my eye with that game. Let me put it that way. The only thing that catches my eye is the graphics, and that's because it hurts my eyes. But anyway. But I don't know. I mean, they brought back like all the Mario circuits into one track, so maybe they could do like something similar, like with the, I don't know. I mean, they kind of sprawled all the NES, the Super Nintendo tracks out throughout the normal world map, so maybe they could do that again. But man, this guy's gonna be really surprised when I throw this blue shell at him. I am sorry. Ow. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so first track that I have on my list that literally instantly comes to mind when I think about parkour mechanics and kind of just a really cool, really just has insane amount of potential with an engine like this is Waluigi Pinball. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, I don't really know why people have kind of brought this argument up when talking about Mario Kart World and potential tracks coming back, is they don't think that like enclosed areas, or maybe not enclosed areas, but like, I don't know, kind of the more unique tracks like Waluigi Pinball or Squeaky Clean Sprint or Ribbon Road, like they think that these don't have a high potential of coming back, and I honestly kind of disagree. Maybe for something like Squeaky Clean Sprint, that might be hard to kind of form into a free roam engine. But I'm just like, I don't don't know. Like, I guess, for example, like Waluigi Pinball, I really feel like there are ways to kind of form it within a I guess, more literal context. Like, I could see them with Waluigi Pinball, like, they could make it like a big arcade building, you know, similar to like a Wario Stadium. They could build it like, make it like a big arcade area and have it just kind of just a more grand, giant arcade, or even kind of more theme park-ish. It wouldn't, yeah, I don't know. But I guess thinking about Waluigi Pinball now, you literally are on a pinball machine. I don't know. I really feel like there are workarounds. But, you know, despite that argument, I really feel like those tracks still have a chance. I understand that the current track list doesn't show that and doesn't really give any points to that, to tracks being, you know, the more unique track structures. But I don't know. Like, let's just kind of go into like why Waluigi Pinball for me. I just feel like there is such unique rail potential with this track. I just think about, you know, when you first kind of jump into the pinball area where the pinballs start rolling with you. I think there could be such cool kind of branching rails and stuff to really spice up that area a little more. I think there'd be really cool opportunities for maybe like bouncing off of bumpers at the end, or again, just the rail system really just kind of opens my eyes and it really gets me excited to see like a Waluigi Pinball kind of track within this engine. It would just be so cool. I don't know. I imagine just a bunch of sprawling paths with different rails and different things like that. I think they would have to extend that pinball area a little bit more. I know that would kind of get annoying with 24 players. That would be a pretty tight area. But again, it's like add a little bit more branching paths, add some cool opportunities for parkour in that area, and I think it could be super sick. I don't really know why. It's just that's literally okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. That's literally the first place that comes to mind when talking about really just wanting tracks that could really thrive in this engine. Waluigi Pinball always comes to mind. I also think Waluigi Stadium would be really cool. That was one of my favorite tracks back in Mario Kart. Actually, more Mario Kart Wii than Double Dash. I felt like Mario Kart Wii's engine kind of fit that track better, and it was just really fun to race on. I loved that track. But yeah, I mean, like, I think Waluigi Stadium would be really cool. Getting a Waluigi track in this game. I think he deserves some representation in the track list, and so either one of those I think would be really cool, have some cool potential with just different. It could be similarly structured like Wario Stadium in this game, kind of having some of those walls have rails that you can kind of grind on or something. I don't know. It could be. I think there's some serious potential there as well. That would be really cool to see. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of the Waluigi courses, and so maybe there's a little bias there, but I also think they would fit this engine really well. And I don't know. I guess they could maybe spice up Waluigi's Stadium to look a little different than Wario Stadium, but I don't know. They might need to spice it up. They might look a little similar, but it's whatever. I think that, again, I think it'd be a really cool inclusion to the track list. Okay, so the next track that I have in my list is actually a Wii U track, and it's Thwomp Ruins. I honestly feel like that track you could literally port it into this game and it would work just fine. Another unique thing about Mario Kart World is that there's really no underwater mechanics, so that can kind of maybe limit a very few options from Mario Kart 7 and 8. But, you know, gosh, I gotta stop saying that. But Thwomp Ruins, I feel like just would translate so well. I really like that track in 8. And I feel like it would just fit this place really well. I mean, the water wouldn't be an issue. You could just kind of float on top of it. Wouldn't really hinder it at all. The anti-gravity, another unique argument. Honestly, I really feel like it's not even a huge deal. But there are some people that are discounting some Mario Kart 8 courses because of the anti-gravity. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, I look at Mario Kart World, and I really don't feel like that is an issue at all. Like, I don't know. There's like I don't really know why people think that anti-gravity completely discredits some tracks from Mario Kart 8. I really don't feel like that's the case. I honestly feel like Mario Kart World could just easily not even worry about the anti-gravity and just kind of throw the track in there. I don't think anyone would notice. I don't think anyone would skip a beat about it. I don't know. There's some kind of windy roads that I feel like kind of fit the anti-gravity feel anyway in this game. Like Starview Peak, I feel like has kind of as a tight road. Or not a tight road, kind of a tall road. Same with Mario Kart, Mario Bros. Circuit. Just to kind of name a few examples. I really feel like anti-gravity is it won't be an issue. But I guess, you know, another thing that people bring up is the fact that we have had Mario Kart 8 for the last 10 years before this game. And so why would people want tracks coming back from Mario Kart 8 so soon? And I'm just like, I get that, but again, I really feel like there's potential for some serious glow-ups and enhancements with this engine. So, all that to say, I think Thwomp Ruins would be a really cool addition. I think it could fit the mold of this game really well. I do understand that there is great block ruins already in this game, so having two kind of ruins. I guess I could see potentially being an issue, maybe. But I don't know. I think Thwomp Ruins would fit so well. I mean, the wall riding mechanic could be easily implemented in the once you enter the ruins, it's kind of in that middle section. I feel like a wall riding mechanic could easily slide into there. You could even put maybe like a railing in the middle, or I know in Thwomp Ruins at the end of the track, there's like a little cut at the end that you can go off the path with. You could easily shift that into a rail or something along those lines. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. But Thwomp Ruins, I feel like it would be a really solid pick in my eyes. Just kind of implementing all that Mario Kart World has to offer. Plus, I just really like the track. It's a great track. I think that's a solid Wii U track. Let's see. Next one on my list I wrote down is DS Delfino Square. Now, I feel like this pick was more of just a personal pick of mine that I really want to come back. I really like DS Delfino Square. I think it's really, I don't know, I really like that track. But I also understand, you know, thinking about it logically, with this engine, I think it does have potential to add some cool parkour elements, but now thinking about it, 24 players would be very claustrophobic on that track. I mean, we already see that with like tracks like Toad Factory in this game, where it gets to be very, very brutal when you're playing with 24 players. And so if they were to bring back Delfino Square from the DS, I feel like they would maybe have to make some adjustments to the track size. I know there's branching paths within the town square itself, which, you know, I guess that could be, that could help with that, but I don't know, it also could be pretty claustrophobic. But I just think about, you know, like, man, I keep saying, I am sorry. I am so sorry I really need to get better at not saying that. Thinking about DS Delfino Square by itself as a track, I think there's some cool potentials that they could add. I mean, like, I think about trying to remember where it's at. I think it's after you enter the city. Oh my gosh, not this intermission. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted with this intermission. But it's when you like exit out of the claustrophobic like branching paths. There's like a cool gap cut that you can kind of jump over the lake in. That would be really cool. I could see like that being a really cool like charge jump cut right there. You also got potential with maybe you could even like spice things up within the square itself. I could see them doing that a little bit, maybe. Especially in like free roam, I could see them kind of making it a little bit more town-like and having like a cool square. But who knows? But yeah, DS Delfino Square, I think that would be a really fun track. I think that would be a great pick. And it just hasn't been brought back yet, and I don't know, I just really like it. Next on my list is okay. Pause for a second. Can we talk about the desert tracks that were included in this game? I guess more specifically the desert tracks that were not picked in this game. They decided to pick DS Desert Hills over tracks like Dry Ruins from Mario Kart Wii. Like, I don't really know. I don't understand their thought process there. Wow, that umbrella screwed me. But I'm just sitting here like, okay, you're really gonna pick DS Desert Hills over Dry Ruins? Or I mean, even like, oh, what an incredible shock dodge. Even like something like Yoshi Desert from Super Circuit. Like, I feel like those tracks are much more appealing than DS Desert Hills. I don't really have anything against Desert Hills in this game. It's not terrible, but it's not that great either. But I'm just like, man, Dry, am I saying that? Is it Dry Ruins or Dry Outpost? No, I think that's Paper Mario. Dry Ruins. That's a really cool, I really like that track. That is a really cool track from Mario Kart Wii. Again, honorable mention, Yoshi Desert, a track that has not been remade. And it gives Yoshi his own representation in Mario Kart World, which I don't think there's a Yoshi track, surprisingly, in this game. But I just feel like the stars aligned for one of those tracks. Why Desert Hills? That is such a weird pick to me. Anyway, Dry Ruins is what would be my pick for a desert course. If they were to add another desert course, I feel like there's you could do some cool rail stuff, cool wall riding in the ruins itself. I feel like there's some cool, there's some cool potential. I guess I'm just really thinking more about the ruins itself. So yeah, I'm digging that pick. I like Dry Ruins. Yeah, it's actually crazy to me that they didn't pick like Yoshi Desert instead of Desert Hills. And okay, anyway, let's get on with the list. Next one that I have is Sunshine Airport from Mario Kart 8. I just feel like that one would be a solid pick, just all around. I think Sunshine Airport was a really solid track. And again, if we're, if we really want to appeal to the argument that, anti-gravity is something that affects the track picks, I feel like Sunshine Airport doesn't really have any substantial anti-gravity to affect its, I guess, decision or its criteria. So I think Sunshine Airport would be sick. I'm gonna be honest though, I can't really think of like any places. Wow, that was fantastic. Can't really think of any places that that you could add maybe parkour. Mario Kart World's kind of like parkour elements. I mean, potentially you could do. Yeah, man. Honestly, yeah. Maybe you don't need parkour elements for this track. I just think it's solid all around. I could maybe use a little bit of a glow up. Maybe. Yeah. Honestly, I think it really doesn't need a whole lot of changes. I just really like Sunshine Airport. Yeah, if you don't like it, if you don't like that opinion, I guess, then sorry. I guess that's my opinion. So yeah, Sunshine Airport. I think it's a solid track. Dang, this is gonna be a rough ending. I'm gonna lose some spots here. 15th maybe? Wow, okay, got 15th. Okay, we still got a decent amount of tracks here on my list, so let's continue on and continue forward. Next one is Mushroom Gorge. Okay, hear me out. All right, I'm not ashamed of it. I am a huge Mario Kart Wii fan. It's the one that I grew up on. I love it so much. If we could do another booster course pass with all the Mario Kart Wii tracks coming back, I would be all for it. But I'm not just saying Mushroom Gorge because it's like a fan favorite. Like, I genuinely think that Mushroom Gorge would have really cool potential for Mario Kart World parkour mechanics. My mind instantly goes to like the cave section in the track, and I know it's like a prime shocking spot. I know it's like not everyone's favorite part of the track, but you know, I think they could make some cool even some enhancements to that area. The main thing I think about is like they really could just extend that mushroom area a little bit, make it a little bigger, give some more, I guess, player expression in that area. Again, thinking about like Acorn Heights, I think that could be a kind of like what I'm thinking about. Like, you wouldn't even have to make that place a bottomless pit anymore. Like, I feel like that's one of the main reasons why it's a main shocking spot, is because everyone just shocks there because everyone falls off the edge. Well, similar to Acorn Heights, you know, there's a lot of elevation, different mushrooms and leaves and stuff that people can take. But if they do get shocked, then it's just a matter of I'm gonna see. Oh, that did not work. That did not work. But I don't know. I think it would be a really cool. I think it has potential to be a really cool track for Mario Kart World. I think that'd be awesome. And so that is my genuine, like, again, I actually really do like Mushroom Gorge. I know it's a fan favorite, and I just like it in general. But I think Mario Kart World could enhance it in genuine ways. I don't think it would just be like just sheerly just a fan favorite track to bring back. I think there's genuine enhancements it can make. All right, let's get through a couple of these pretty quick here. Next one is Banshee Boardwalk from the Nintendo 64, Mario Kart 64. Honestly, man, I don't even know why. I don't think it's been remade, or no, it was brought back. I think in Mario Kart DS, maybe. But honestly, the reason I put this one down is I think it's just time for a glow up. I mean, if Mario Kart World can do wonders to Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64, I think it'd be really cool to see a Banshee Boardwalk adaptation in this Mario Kart. I don't know. I think it'd be sick. I think it'd be really, really cool. That sucks. But yeah, like, I think, you know, I think it's in Boo Cinema. It's like in Boo Cinema intermissions when like the kind of the track is like all kind of kind of dipping into the poison water, and it's just all kind of broken and stuff. I feel like you could do a lot of like kind of cool stuff like that with the actual boardwalk itself. You got big cheeps that can make some huge splashes and actually add, I don't know. I feel like the water splash mechanic is super, super cool. The fact that you can kind of trick off the big waves and stuff. You could really, I think there would be a cool section within Banshee Boardwalk where you could actually have the the giant cheap, make a ginormous splash within the track, or like go on the water. I don't know. I'm just thinking of I'm literally just yapping. I think that could be a really cool idea. So yeah, I think Banshee Boardwalk would be really cool. Nice kind of cool ghostly track to add to the list, while also being kind of a water track. I don't know. I think that could be a really cool inclusion. Next one is, okay, it's kind of a crime that Mario Kart Super Circuit doesn't have any representation in this game. That really does break my heart. I made a whole video on the main channel about how misunderstood Mario Kart Super Circuit is. But, you know, yeah, I just feel like, where am I going with this? Yeah, they need to add some Super Circuit tracks into the DLC. I really feel that way. So a couple of them that I have on my list is Rainbow Road, simply because I feel like, well, I know the Rainbow Road hasn't been remade for a Super Circuit, and I think that has some cool potential for a, I don't know, kind of a cool remake I could see. Let's see if I can do this here. But then the next one that I have is, well, okay, let me back up again. Rainbow Road for GBA, I think, you know, with the parkour mechanics, there's a lot of jumps around the entire track in Mario Kart Super Circuit, and I know a lot of people have brought this same argument or same thought up, but I think that could translate well into a Mario Kart world setting. I think they would need to glow up the track a lot. It is pretty flat, but I know that Mario Kart devs have done a really good job making the Super Circuit tracks feel a lot more dynamic when they bring them back. And so I could see them doing a good job at bringing the Super Circuit Rainbow Road, make it a little bit more lively. I think they could do that really well. It deserves a remake. I think it deserves a chance to come back and see the light of day, I guess. But then the next one that I have from the GBA is actually Lakeside Park. This is the one where like fireballs fall from the volcano. And I don't really know. There's not really like a volcano-esque landmark in Mario Kart World. And so to have a volcano on an island, I think is kind of a given. And I think that could translate really well into like a free roam exploration spot. I know I'm kind of thinking of multiple factors here, I guess. But I think Lakeside Park could be a really cool addition. I think that could be a cool jungly track that you could add to the lineup. I think that would be pretty sweet. So I think those are two that I think would fit well. Next track that I have on my list, we're kind of bouncing through these pretty quick, are a couple of more Wii U ones. Another one that I kind of just threw on the list, and again, this list isn't really any particular order. I think Toad Harbor from Mario Kart 8 would be a really solid inclusion. Again, I could see them really enhancing it even in certain ways. You could have different kind of railings for the not the Amtraks. What am I trying to say? Like the trains that are on the track itself, or the light rails. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I think that could be a cool kind of like different rail include the rail gimmick in there, like that. And I just like Toad Harbor as a track. I think it's a very solid, I like the setting. I like the kind of the, I don't know. I could see that being translated well into a new DLC island. Again, not a lot of anti-grav to worry about, including. I don't know. I just think it's a solid. I think it's a solid pick and a solid. Okay, this guy is. What the heck is that? I'm sorry, I'm locked in here. But I think that would be a very, very solid pick. That would be another one that I'd want for Mario Kart 8 that could easily translate, very, very easily translate into this game, almost flawlessly in my eyes. So yeah, Toad Harbor, definitely a good pick. Another one I guess is Cloud Top Cruise. The reason why I kind of sound a little hesitant with that is because it does have similar themes to like an airship fortress. I don't think that should fully I don't know if that should fully discredit it returning, but I could see Nintendo kind of falling into that lines of like, I don't know, Cloud Top Cruise kind of fits, I don't know, kind of seems more like a airship. That'd be another airship track. But again, I think it'd be really cool to see you back. I love that. I actually really liked that track. It's a cool setting, very cloudy. And actually, for example, like right here, you know, the blue fire that we see kind of in Rainbow Road and Bowser's Castle. I think Odyssey Central brought this up first, but I thought it was a really good idea that when you go into like kind of the cloudy lightning section of the track, you could easily incorporate blue fire, that blue fire speed mechanic into that. I think that's a perfect spot for it. And then again, you could add some cool rails with kind of the more beanstalk aesthetic and stuff. You could add different paths with that. I don't know. I think it'd be a very solid pick and not very hard to include. I think that would be a really, really good pick. And then lastly, you know, at first I really didn't want to include any Mario Kart Tour tracks. I'm sorry. I'm a Mario Kart Tour hater. I thought that was such a disappointing disappointing game. I just thought the whole game was just a very bland experience, and the tracks that they included in Mario Kart 8 were not my favorites. Did not like them at all. And so I was like, okay, fine. I pretty much added I've almost included a track from every Mario Kart, so I thought these two could maybe be ones standouts to me at least. The first one is Sydney Sprint. That one I think could be a potential. I liked that one. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like a lot of tour tracks really just blend together for me. I don't really remember them a lot, and it's gonna be interesting to see if they even do bring back any tour tracks, because as of right now, we technically don't have any tour tracks other than like Sky High Sunday, but that's not really like a city course. It was more of an original course. I don't know. And even in Mario Kart 8, it was advertised as kind of a newer course. Again, it's kind of a blurry line if it's a tour track or if it originates from tour or not. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see if there's any tour. We'll see if there's any city tracks that do make a return. It'll be interesting to see. And then the last one I wanted to mention is Ninja Hideaway. Again, one of those tracks that kind of blur the lines between if it's a tour track or if it's I don't know. I always considered it a kind of a tour-esque track just because of the booster course pass and how they treated. I guess I don't really know. that one is a weird one. But I will say, I think there's some really cool potential with Ninja Hideaway, especially in an engine with Mario Kart World. Lots of cool branching paths. I think there's potential at the end when you're kind of riding on like the roofs of like the buildings and whatnot. There could be some really cool, maybe some like wall riding, or even like I don't know, different branching paths again with rails and stuff. I don't know why I like it's stuff like this. Like literally for you audio listeners, I'm sorry, but like right here, like the sick additions to adding like rails like that in a track is so cool to me. I don't know what it is. It's just so cool to me. But Ninja Hideaway, man, I think has some of the highest potential. And we saw the glow up that Sky High Sundae had. In Mario Kart 8, Sky High Sundae was one of my least favorite tracks. It was just horrific. Hated that track. But in Mario Kart World, man, what a glow up. An insane glow up. And I guess I wouldn't really say that Ninja Hideaway needs a glow up as much as like Sky High Sundae did, but Ninja Hideaway again just has some really cool potential I could see, and just the theming of the course in general. It's a unique theme, kind of has more like kind of Japanese or like kind of more ninja-esque like theming in its course, and that, I don't know, it kind of sets itself apart from other courses that we've seen. Well, I guess like Cheep Cheep Falls in this game kind of has more Japanese-esque theming, but again, Ninja Hideaway, I wouldn't be opposed to having more. It would be really cool to have Ninja Hideaway. And so again, I don't know if I count that as a tour. I don't know if I count that as just kind of another cool one to bring back. I honestly could not tell you. Also, this room is dying very fast. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's honestly my list that I wrote down pretty quick. Didn't really put there were some tracks that I really did think about and really wanted to, I think could benefit from a glow up or a remake, or even just fit this engine. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm super excited. I'm really hopeful that this game will get DLC. If it doesn't, man, that would actually just be so sad. But the thing is, though, it's like Mario Kart World, wow, I did not think he would hit me off. Mario Kart World is different enough to where, like, it does kind of pose a question of, like, will we be getting DLC? I think, at least I hope Nintendo sees this as kind of like their live service game. That's what I want them to treat it as, honestly, is a game that they just continually support for a long time. Because again, I think there's a lot of cool tracks that could benefit from this engine. And then if we're talking about just brand new tracks in general, like, again, I just want them to include, I don't want them to forget about the mechanics they introduced in this game. I highly doubt they would, but like, again, give me more rail grinding, give me more wall riding. I think it's so fun and satisfying to do that type of stuff. So don't shy away from that. That's all I ask. But yeah, no, I mean, this was fun. I could yap about Mario Kart all day long. I love, and especially the retro track, topics, what tracks they'll bring back. Always really loved seeing discussion, being a part of the discussion. And so if you have any tracks that you think would fit this, wow, look at these chain shops. Wow. That sucked. But yeah, if you have any tracks that you would want them to bring back, or you think would fit really well with an enhancement or like almost like a remaster in the Mario Kart World engine, let me know in the comments. I would love to see what you guys think and what you feel would deem to be a great pick for this game. But honestly, that is gonna wrap up today. I'm gonna wrap up with the crown here, but yeah, thanks for chilling. Thanks for chilling out with me, and I am, again, Nintendo, please don't abandon this game.